everyone, Laura here. Roxanne talks about her PCOS journey at the beginning of this episode. If you do feel like that could be triggering at all for you, please do skip to 1501. And as always, I hope you enjoy this episode.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Do It For Yourself podcast. I am your host Foxanne.
And I'm your host Laura, and this is a podcast for creatives by creatives.
This podcast is a mix of realness and feel-good vibes from your two new northern besties.
Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, ding.
I forgot the ding in the last one. Oh no, forgot the ding in
Sophie's.
Devastated. Yeah. So yeah, welcome to another episode. Happy Tuesday. Very excited to have you here. So today, some of our viewers have said that they really enjoy the Am I the Arsehole segments in our solo episode.
And if you don't know I don't think we've ever actually prefaced what the Am I the Arsehole
No, I think we just presumed everyone knew.
So basically it was me because I'm a sucker for Reddit. I love Reddit. I think it can be a really beautiful place. Oh, we should do catch up before we do this.
Yeah, we'll tell you what the Am I the Arsehole is in a sec.
Yeah.
So, catch up. How have you been? We've got so much to catch up on and can't even tell you. We were like, we need to write this all down. But we haven't.
But I haven't. So, I think the last time we did a podcast episode, just me and you, I explained how I was getting blood tests. I'd found out that I have polycystic ovaries. And then was getting the blood test. So after 3 rounds of blood tests, found out that I do have the polycystic ovarian syndrome. I got a phone call saying that you have got the syndrome, which means I do have the metabolic condition. But yeah, no. So she essentially rang me and was like, yeah, so your testosterone's high, your prolactin is high, and all the other hormones that they kind of like use to like decipher whether you've got it or not, are all elevated. So she said, which I'm so angry at because I was singing her praises for like weeks and weeks to people being like, oh my doctor's been so helpful, like getting me this, like figure out what's wrong or what's going on with my body. And she said, so you have PCOS. I've sent you a information sheet. Your BMI is high, so my advice to you would be to lose weight and to get back in touch when you want kids.
It's shocking. It's so shocking. And
I was on the phone. I was on the phone for less than 5 minutes. I was like, all right, okay. I was like, so what does this mean? There's like, well, people with PCOS can have fertility issues. Also, they might not have fertility issues. But that's it, really. Like, I've sent you an information sheet and that was about it. She also said that I need to have yearly diabetes checks for my blood pressure or my blood sugar, whatever that is. I don't really know much information about that.
Insulin estimate.
Yeah, to see my insulin resistance, which can be another side effect of PCOS. I'm sure that you've put loads of trigger warnings in the beginning of this and put timestamps. So I have an eating disorder. I had it when I was younger, like pre-teens into early teens, but I'm currently in the mindset of when people do have eating disorders, it's not necessarily you recover and it never happens again, but it just becomes longer and longer between each relapse.
Yeah.
That's where my mind is. I'm like, I'm not fully recovered. Like, yeah. So I went to the doctors for that, so that's in my notes. So I found it a bit...
It's so wrong. I found it a bit triggering, yeah.
Yeah, I found it a bit triggering saying you need to lose weight. Because that's it. I understand that when it comes to BMI, I am classed as obese.
But you're obviously not obese.
But
do you know what I mean?
I don't think BMI is right. I don't think BMI works right because if you've never seen me before, I've got massive tits. I'm like a 34K. So
huge.
Yeah.
That's the majority of your weight, isn't it? So
yeah. So and that's it. That's the majority of my weight is my cebellinis.
Cebellinis. I'm going to use that now.
Just make so many words up for my tits.
Did you make that up?
No, I've probably heard it somewhere. So I don't know. I just found it. I found it really triggering. It was hard to kind of. I didn't really process it. Max, bless him, was next to me, and he was like, "Right, so we've got this, and we know the information. Now we can work from here." But the thing is, there's nothing really specific. And I watched the first thing I did. I went straight to YouTube and straight to Reddit and was reading and watching these videos of people finding out that they've got PCOS, and everybody was kind of. Especially people in the UK. It was like the same. Everybody was like, they essentially told me to lose weight and get back in touch when I want kids. So it was, I don't know, it's a bit of a tricky one. No one really knows how to navigate it. No one really knows what to do so the issue is, because I have PCOS, it's a metabolic condition which affects the way my body metabolizes food. One of the symptoms is weight gain because your body can't metabolize its food quick enough.
Yeah.
So telling someone with PCOS to lose weight.
Well, if I want to lose weight, I'm going to have be assisted.
It's an almost impossible task, because it's kind of like, and it's like today I was showing you, I got a random text on my phone off the doctors saying you have flagged up as having a high BMI. If you want to engage in our weight loss plan, please get in touch and we can help you with this.
But that's not going to work for you because
Well, this is it. So my body reacts to, from the research that I have done, obviously this is a completely new, I only just got my diagnosis, maybe 3 weeks ago. And I took a week to kind of process what this meant, because I think I've mentioned it before in the past. One of my biggest fears in life is not being able to have the option of having children. So now that is something that potentially might be on the table for me. I'm crossing all my fingers that I've seen people in the struggle and the hurt that like infertility has caused, like family members and friends and stuff. And I hope that I'm one of the lucky ones and I don't go through that, but might be a possibility for me. But yeah, no, so it's one of those things where I'm struggling to navigate around it. I'm struggling to find the information from reputable sources without it being the doctors telling me to lose weight and to think. So the issue is as well, from the research that I have found, is people with PCOS struggle to lose weight with high intensity training. So the body doesn't lose weight that way because it shocks the body. So low intensity stuff is better in the long run. And obviously certain things that we can eat, like people have said that going gluten-free has really helped with weight loss, because the thing is, it's kind of like a double-edged sword. So because it's a metabolic condition, a part of it is obviously it's like I've said, it struggles to lose weight, but the symptoms potentially ease up when you're losing weight.
Right.
So it's kind of like,
it's like going in a vicious circle.
It is a vicious circle, and it's finding what works for you. And like people have said, cutting down sugar, but this is it. Like I want to enjoy my life. I don't want to, but this is it. Right now I'm still processing, still trying to figure out what's going on. But she did say get back in touch when I want kids, and I might have to go on, like there's certain tablets you can take to help with fertility, but she said you can only get that help after a year of trying.
Well, you can just lie.
Oh, yeah.
You can just say, sorry, I've been trying for ages.
Yeah, so right now I've got my diagnosis. I don't really know what this means. I've been on Reddit and I've been on different forums asking people what it means and what I do.
But can I just put in and say, it's so sad that you have to do that. Getting medical advice on Reddit sounds like and sorry if you're American, but such an American thing to do. Do you know what I mean? You should be able to get that advice from your doctor. It's not a case of, find out what's wrong, see you later when you want kids.
Well, this is it. It's something that I have worked out. So something that we are so lucky to have the National Health Service here. And obviously we don't pay for it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, we do with our taxes.
But we don't, it isn't money that we have to pay out of our, we don't pay at the end of a doctor's appointment.
Yeah, we don't pay 10 grand after, whatever.
So one thing I have looked at is GPs
Mm-hmm.
aren't specialists.
Yeah, whereas in America, you don't
necessarily go to a GP. You go to, I'm going to go and see my gyno today. So if anybody listening is at the beginning of the journey like I am, I'm trying to fight to see a gynecologist and a endocrinologist, which is somebody who specialises in hormones, because that's essentially what it is. It's a hormone imbalance as well. This is what I can't really put my finger on. So when I was younger, when I was on the contraceptive pill, the one with obviously the hormones,
mm-hmm.
my doctor turned around to me and said, you've got very, very high estrogen, that the added hormones in your tablet tips you over the edge. So they already knew that I had some sort of hormone thing, but never really looked into it.
That doesn't make any sense.
So then now I think I don't know, this is it. I'm trying to pinpoint, because obviously I wasn't born with the polycystic ovaries and I wasn't born with PCOS. I'm trying to pinpoint I'm trying to work out if it was something I did. Well, this is it. It's like, is it something, is it something I did?
It's nothing that you did.
So right now I think I'm kind of trying to process it. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck is going on.
But what's that thing that you started taking?
Yeah, so I take anisotol. So what I found out is that so I used to take anisotol tablets for my sleep. They really helped me to sleep. And then I found out there's 9 different types of anisotol, and these 2 different types in a 40-20 ratio can help with hormones. Not necessarily hormones, but help with PCOS and the symptoms. I was taking, I think I mentioned the last time, I had day and a half periods, and they were regular. They were like relatively on the dot every month, but they lasted a day and a half, and I was on like a tap.
That's still so shocking to me.
I know. The first period I had since taking my anisotol, I had severe cramps. Like, it was severe, and again, TMI. And I was passing clots, and it went on for 5 days. So
after doing
research on that, the research implied that I've not been shedding all of my lining when I'm having my periods.
Well, you're not going to if it's only 2 days, is it?
Yeah, and the stuff that's in there. So I feel like the last period I had was, like, I had, like, painful periods anyway because of how heavy they were, but that was just, I was in crippling pain, and Max was like, I don't know what to do. Yeah,
they never do they?
It was like, it's a hot water bottle and a cup of tea. But yeah, no, so hopefully I'm doing my period in a couple of days. Hopefully we'll see.
Well, we'll update you on the next step.
Yeah, no, I just want some more information, because all the information that because I use Instagram a lot for info, because a lot of like very educational Instagrams, but all the Instagrams that seem to be about PCOS is about food and gut health, but I find that very triggering, so I have to be very careful how much diet stuff I digest.
Do you know what I reckon would be good? Just to start off small, or like, don't they say the best thing, like, for diet, well, we don't want to call them diets, but to, like, improve your health with your eating is to add things, not take things away.
Yeah.
So, like, let's say, I don't know, I'm making this up. Let's say, for example, you find that spinach really helps. Add more spinach into your diet. Have it for every meal.
Well,
Put it in smoothies, you know?
I think there's not... it's like loads of things with women's health. I think there's not as much information out there as there should be, and it's not necessarily accessible, and everybody has like opposing opinions, and my doctor kind of downplayed it as if it was a normal thing, which it is a very like common thing.
But that's why we need more information on it.
Well, that's it. I was reading somewhere that women usually get diagnosed with PCOS after once they've tried to have a kid, and they try to figure out why they're having fertility issues. I hope that everything in that case is fine. When me and Max do try and have kids, hopefully that's an easy process.
I'm trying to cross my toes as well. I'm crossing my fingers, trying to cross my toes.
So so that's currently what the vibe is, what's going on. If you do have PCOS and you know some information, please do let me know.
Share away.
Like, there's just so much information out there, and it's all contradictory as well, and it's just all a bit all over the place, and everybody's kind of trying to find their own way. I'm part of this a Facebook group called the PCOS Tribe. And I'm a part of that on Facebook. But yeah, no. So yeah, that's my update.
My update. So if you follow us on Instagram, you've probably seen it already because I've probably posted about it. But on episode 4, we did a to studio or not to studio episode. So, you know, going through whether it's good to work from home or good to work from a studio. And basically outweighing completely, if that's the right way to say it.
Maybe, I think so.
Yeah. By a mile, to have a studio was so much better than working from home, and I knew that working from home was really, really bad for me, but I think I was just in denial because I don't want to spend the money. You were in denial
because you were so adamant all the way through. You was like, no, it's not for me, and I was going, I really, really think you could benefit from this.
And then
dun, 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 dun.
And then I was like, right, I'm going to add it to my 2022 goals. 2 days later, after that episode went out, I messaged Roxanne. Actually, no, the day after.
Yeah.
It was on the Wednesday. I messaged Roxanne and I was like, look, I think I really do need a studio. Yeah, so there's 12 new being built in your place, isn't there?
Yeah.
So I messaged her and I was like, when are they going to be built? Because I just really want to get into one. I know that I need to. And I was thinking you were going to say like, oh, you know, like it's like 4 months away.
Well, then I messaged like the owner's wife and I was like, hi. Is there any studios available, or when are you building the new ones? And she was like, oh, this, because I looked at the studio that's available a few weeks before because I was going to move in there. And she was like, oh, that one that you looked at's available. I was like, Laura, there's one available.
Yeah, and then I was like, I'm coming tomorrow. So I viewed it the next day. We walked together, didn't we, with Luna? Yeah. Viewed it the next day, and I was like, fuck it. I've not got the money, but I'll make it work.
Yeah, I think that's
yeah. I know. So now I'm in. Well, I'm not in yet.
Overthink it, but yeah, no, you've got. Have you got the keys yet?
No, but I've dropped a few bits off. I'm gonna get the keys,
deposit and
week.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, exciting!
I know.
So they might be, if you are a YouTube watcher, you might see a little bit of a mix-up because I think we might start filming this at the studio just so it's easier. So you might actually see Luna.
Love it. Love it. You never know, we might be able to get Mando and Luna in together. I mean,
Luna goes absolute ham for cats. She's like, I mean,
well, you know, if they do let, so I actually, you know, I was like, oh my God, I need the cat to come. I haven't actually asked. I'm just like hoping for the best, but I just know this is what I need to do. Like, if they do let the cat come with me, if I'm will Luna be all right if I'm walking with a backpack with a cat in it?
You know what she's like? She's a big sniffer, isn't she?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Because I don't know, I'll probably just put him on my back, but if it's a long journey.
I'm so excited.
I am. I'm really excited. I've got visions.
I know.
You know,
because I'm good friends with Mimi, who you will see in
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
We've had her on the podcast. I love Mimi. She's amazing. And I'm happy that Laura's me and Laura, I've gone from being complete strangers to then becoming kind of friends to then suddenly, after one frantic emotional FaceTime call, starting a new venture together, to now we'll probably be seeing each other every day.
And I feel like I can tell you anything.
Yeah, I think this has been such an intense but necessary relationship.
Yeah.
I feel like we're taking the next step in our relationship.
Oh no, we're moving in together. I'm above, so I'm right above you.
Yeah,
so
she's right above me. So if she needs me, she'll just tap on the floor and come on,
I know.
Be amazing.
We have gone very deep, very quick. I was on FaceTime to Roxanne a couple of days ago, and slowly snot was just dripping down my nose, nearly in my mouth.
I tried my best to keep my eyes off it and not bring it up, and I just went, Laura, snot.
And I was being so serious as well. I was like, why do I feel this way?
I think I've got snot dripping down.
Blah, blah. And I was I just need to go to the toilet and get my tissue.
I think that's all we need to catch up on, is it?
Yeah. And then, we'll catch up on some more next week, let you know how everything's going.
Yeah.
Right, so we were going to say, am I the arsehole? So it's on Reddit, as obviously Roxanne was saying. She's wrote in Reddit before about PCOS, etc.
Yeah. So Reddit it can be an awful place, but also it can be a beautiful place as well to get stuff and people find things. And there's literally a Reddit thread for anybody. But there's one that's called am I the arsehole? And people essentially go on there, they can make throwaway accounts where it's you don't really know who it is. But yeah, no, they go on and ask if they're the arsehole, if they need like an opinion, or if they've not really got anybody to turn around. And I enjoy reading them.
I love reading them.
Yeah, and I love them. I do it sometimes in my spare time. There's a few very fun ones. So there's Am I the Arsehole? There's Just No Mother-in-Law, which is just a wild like
mother-in-law's like stealing the kids.
Oh, it's wild. But yeah, no, so we thought that this episode, because we, like Laura said, we have had a few people say that they do enjoy our hot takes on the Am I the Arseholes? Am I the Arseholes? Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
That we'll do a full podcast episode on them. We are going to do a few design-based ones, and maybe we might throw in a few like unhinged rogue ones.
Who knows? I mean, because our podcast isn't just design, so
that's what we're finding out. Yeah. This is what we're finding out as we're recording podcast episodes, that it is like design, but we also like just a little bit of a sneak peek, like the guests that we're having on, and some of them aren't necessarily like designers. Like we're having a spiritual tarot reader coming on, which I'm so fucking excited about.
I'm excited about that. I want her to tell me everything's amazing.
We've not explained, sorry, tangent again. So Laura actually cut it out. So what podcast was this? To studio or not to studio?
Yeah, Laura cut out really long already, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was so long already that Laura cut out 40 minutes of me explaining my spirituality and my relationship with spirituality, which I think we might put up on YouTube in like a separate one, just me chatting shit about that.
Maybe we'll do a bonus episode.
Maybe we will. But
maybe in the same week as that. Lady comes on.
Yes, we will. Like how we're just discussing this on the podcast.
I know.
But yeah, no, so long story short, I believe that there's something out there. I'm not quite sure what it is. I believe that I have, I don't want to say guides, but kind of guides, just that like that. They're kind of like
angels.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't really know what it is. I can't put my finger on it, but I believe that people, things, entities are out there helping me and guiding me through the life. I'm very into like numerology. I see 1111 twice a day, no matter what I'm doing. I'm very open with my spirituality, and I've been explaining it to Laura. So then I invited Laura to a gong bath. I've never had a gong bath before.
Oh my god, gong bath!
It was such a transformative experience, because I had Reiki by the lady who does the gong bath maybe a couple of weeks ago. It was incredible. Like I felt so warm and understood, and I felt like I was being cradled, and it was I don't know, it was amazing, and I really loved it. And then she explained about doing these gong baths, so I was like, oh my god, that's interesting, maybe I'll do that. And then so then for Laura's birthday, I bought her some oracle cards for her to help and pick, because after speaking to me, you're more into like, are you more open to...
Oh, I'm more open anyways, but like I've just never really delved into it. And like these cards, so my friend Alice was like, right, pick just the top one. She was like, the top one's made for you. And I picked it up and we read it out, and we were all like, oh my god, like it was like literally exactly what I needed to hear. Like any of the other cards wouldn't have been right.
Because then she then went, let me just have a look, let me just randomly pick another one. Then she randomly picked another one. She was like, no, that wouldn't have fit, so it was meant for it. And then you did it again, pulled it again the same a couple of days after, and you pulled exactly the same card.
And I fully shifted it. It was that day that I'd called you and I had snot coming down my nose, and I was like, I need guidance. I had to come home from work because I was, so upset and depressed. Sorry about that. And then I was looking through it and I was like, what's my guidance? And it was the same card, and I think that's just what I need to remember what it was. I think it was Everlasting Rose or something.
Yeah, it is. It was one about dealing with stuff that you've got to be able to project forward and to flourish. But so we did that gong bath, and it was incredible. So essentially what you do is you lie down on the floor. It was 4 of us and the lady playing the gong with our blankets. I laid on my side because I find it easier because my boobs are heavy when I lie on my back and I can't breathe. But like after like 5 or 10 minutes, I was lay there with my eye mask on, and it was dark, and I was like, I'm a bit bored, like I don't really get this, like I'm not too sure. But then all of a sudden, like I was having these awful vivid dreams. Well, they're not necessarily like vivid visions, and they were very aggressive.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it snapped, and I was like, right, this is what I'm going to do moving forward. This is how I'm going to handle this situation. This is what I need to do. This is how I need to progress. I don't know. It was just such a great experience. Did you like it as well?
I can't tell you how much it has transformed my life.
Just like that one.
It was £10, right? Which I think's amazing.
Yeah, I think that's dead cheap.
Genuinely, if I did that every week, I don't think I would even need to go to therapy, because I was like my own therapist. It was weird, that, because I was telling you, wasn't I? Can I just say as well, when you first said gong bath, I don't think I've told you this, I thought we'd be like in water.
I mean, yeah.
Because I've heard of like therapy where like you're lying in water and you're floating. I thought maybe it might have been that, but yeah, it was amazing.
Because you are immersed in the gong, the noise of the gong.
You're bathing in the vibrations.
Yeah, that's it.
It was amazing. My thoughts in the first like maybe 10 minutes were like really going off, because obviously ADHD, I'm thinking about too many things. And I remember thinking, no, if I'm going to think about anything, I need to think about my intention. My intention is letting go of like something bad that happened to me from somebody in the past. I'm not going to go through the whole vision because it was like extreme, but like basically I was like in water, and it went from this person dragging me down to their body parts being dispersed, like with my oar, swimming up, getting on a canoe, going through this really beautiful like rainforest river, and then all of my friends and family being on different boats holding my hand. Mando jumped on with me, George was in the back, and I was like crying. And then my vision took me like I was watching it through a TV of me being depressed on the sofa eating popcorn, like this is what's going to be me. And now every single time I felt sad since then, I thought about sitting on that canoe. Because like in meditation, you say, think about your happy place, and I never knew, and now I know.
Now your happy place, I know.
Yeah.
I'd like to try it again, I think maybe next time, because I struggle with not knowing what was happening, so I think I might have had a little barrier up, because I didn't really know what to expect. So I think next time we do it, which I think we might do it in a couple of weeks, might book back into that one.
As soon as possible.
As soon as. I think we might do it, and I'm trying to get Max to do it with me, and it's like, I don't know, you know. It's like, I don't know, this seems traumatic. I was like, it was for me, because I know I have issues.
Me and my hobby got issues. Is that Saturdays?
I think so, maybe. Yeah, no. So, I don't know. I enjoyed it. I'm trying to get Max to come and do it. You can believe it or you could not believe it.
No, I'm sorry. It's a fact, because it happened to us and it was amazing.
I really enjoyed it, and I slept very, very well that night, which is something I've struggled to do for a while. But, you know, it was lovely jubbly.
I had a nightmare.
I know you had a nightmare. But I think I'm more open to being open about my journey with spirituality, and my journey with, not necessarily like labeling, because I don't know if I'm comfortable labeling it as spirituality right now, but my journey with what makes me feel comfortable, because there's so much shit going on in the world, and that's maybe my vice that I'm now open to, because I think I was scared of people thinking I'm a bit kooky.
Do you know what though? If you're kooky, you're fantastic.
Yeah.
So
Brilliant.
You be kooky if you wanna.
Amazing.
Oh my god, I just realised, massive tangent. Am I the arsehole already?
Yes. Yeah. So going back to that, so we thought that we'd do a full episode.
We're the queen of tangents, by the way.
We are queen of tangents. We thought we would do a full episode on Am I the Arseholes? Yeah, I think I've said. Gonna do some design ones and maybe some unhinged ones as well. Laura is taking the reins today.
Okay, so this is a design-based one. Am I the arsehole for wanting my design job to be paid like I deserve to? Straight away I'm thinking, no. Hello Reddit, this is the first time I've posted in this sub. I was always a lurker of Am I the Arsehole, but never an active participant. But today I had my gears grinded for sure. Here's the deal. My cousin sings classic opera, like the Luciano Pavarotti and the likes. I was contacted November 10th by him, asking me to design a logo for him, saying he needed it that day. This message was sent at 1 p.m. We set up on details and fees and I started to do my job. Right, can I just say, like, that's ridiculous.
That's awful. Please
Even
never
for
ask
a cousin.
a designer to design something for that day, please.
Because that's like, I expect you to just drop everything you're doing for me.
Or I expect that you've not got any work on.
Yeah, either way.
Rude.
Arsehole. They needed a logo with a white background, also a version with a black background, transparent background of both of these versions, and then SVG versions of both. So you can see that it wasn't something easy to achieve. But I believe that since they have a manager working with them, the whole logo ordeal was a petition by their manager, by the way. Keep this in mind. After many revisions and additions back and forth with my client, whom I spoke to through my cousin, and never had a word with this supposed manager, we finished with all those designs. I staked the price, the whole package, which came around to $135 in total for all that I said before. Which
that's proper cheap because that's not pounds, that's dollars. So that's about 70 quid.
I don't know, I feel like
100 quid, let's say 100 quid.
Yeah, let's just round it up to 100, probably around that. So that's really not a lot at all.
No.
Plus, when you're doing it that quickly for somebody, you should have a rush fee.
Yeah.
100%. The thing is, my cousin immediately backpedals the fuck out of this and said, that's too much money. Of course, I was already kind of pissed because I spent my whole evening working my ass off and editing this logo like 1,000 times already, switching between Photoshop and Illustrator a million times.
So, just to put in, please, 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 if you take one thing from listening to this podcast or listening to all the podcast episodes, do not work until you have got at least a deposit, at least
50% as well.
And please make people sign contracts. That's something I wish that I would have done because it's caused me a bit of grief later on, but please make people sign contracts or even read contracts. But please, yeah. Oh,
it's essential.
I don't work unless I've got 50%. So this is...
Yeah, same.
If you needed someone to give you a nudge and give you permission, this is your permission to not work unless you've got a deposit.
And also, if you're only charging a small amount, like $135, like, get that up front.
Yeah, but I suppose if it's your cousin, you'd think that you wouldn't have to.
Yeah.
So I get... so...
I mean, it depends who the cousin is. Could be a dickhead, which it sounds like they are. When I asked him if he would like to just buy the high quality background version of the logo to post on social platforms, it would cost him less, $25 for the high quality image. I got no response. Here comes the best part or worst part for me. He sends me an invoice stating that his manager needs the designs for today. Needs only the one with the black background in 3 different sizes, small, medium and big. Transparency is in the same 3 sizes and SVG in the same 3 sizes. I got this message at 6 p.m. I got back to him saying that the price would be the same for all of that. I would give him all the designs and a PDF even with support post work to edit some stuff if they needed to. He repeated the manager needed them for today, but the price was too high, that they would pay me when able. For $135, sorry.
I'm really...
Like, are you skint or something? I'm confused. What twisted world do we live in? I know. So I had an argument with my mum saying that I wouldn't just give up my work for free in trust that I would be paid whenever just because he's my cousin. And she says it's not worth it to argue with my cousin just for this. So, sorry, your mum's an arsehole.
Yeah.
So, Reddit, am I the arsehole?
Sorry, but your mother is
an
arsehole.
He's not the arsehole. Everybody else is in this situation and I'd fuck them all off, move countries. No, sorry, that was a bit
rude. That is so rude.
That's so bad. And the thing is as well, I'm sure that I read before that he'd said this was the price and they said that was okay. And now they've gone back on the word, which has happened to me before and it's really pissed me off.
This is it. It's what I find the annoying part about this is it's like, right, okay, I need these things now, but I can't afford, right? You need to send them over. I need them. But the fact that...
It's not a bar tab.
So, the fact that their manager, their so-called manager, is asking for specific file types makes me think this manager has done either this before or is very inquisitive because your average Joe, quote unquote, will not know about the different file types. Also, if I'm being honest, I don't know why they would need a small, medium and large file type.
Just have the large.
I don't understand why you would need that plus an SVG because then you could just you could make your SVG a PNG image. So it's whatever, if they can't afford that. But they've obviously worked with a designer before because they know what file types to ask for. But $135 for all of that, ridiculous.
That is so low, and they're saying it's too much. And the thing is as well, they need this work. It's obviously very valuable to them if they need it so quick. So why is it not valuable enough to pay for? This is what I'm saying. It's like you wouldn't go, let's say, I don't know, I'm trying to think of an example. I'm bad at this. Let's say your car broke down. It's valuable for you to get a new car, right? Yeah. You wouldn't go to the place that you get your new car, and say, I need this right now, but it's too expensive and I'm going to pay you later. So why is it any different?
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't get it. This doesn't make any sense to me. Is there an update or what are people commenting?
So the top one here says, not the arsehole, but next time you do something for anyone, cousin or not, have a proper contract. It will save you a lot of time and energy. And then OP means original poster, so the person who posted the post. That was really my fault, yes, but because I needed the money, I ended up letting my guard down, especially him being my cousin.
It. That's a sucker. That's when it gets you. I've done that. I have recently, so I had a pretty rough start to the year money wise. I won't go into it, but I then had a job come on and I needed the money and I needed it then, so I priced myself really low so I didn't get denied, and then they've paid and I managed to pay that bill. Amazing, but the work's still going on.
Sometimes you do have to do what you need to do to pay the bills, and
that's it, yeah.
Don't ever feel bad about that.
No, and like they said, the guard was down, and I relate to that. I relate when money's tough and you can kind of just want to take on any job, but
at the same time as well,
props to them for not sending over the files.
I know. Like, when money's tough, sometimes people can take advantage of that too.
Yeah.
Like, I know money's tough for them, so they'll do it dead cheap.
Maybe that's, well, obviously it's the cousin as well.
experienced.
Maybe the cousin knew. I don't know. Any other comments?
Maybe. So he's wrote here, the problem is I feel bad because even if it's my family and we have a good relationship as cousins, he wants, or the manager does, the logo and the rest of the work for today. Payment is out of the question for now, so my cousin says. I feel he just wants free designs, thinking he will get them because of me being a close family member. But they discussed fees at the beginning.
Yeah.
So they know they're not going to, like, if they want it for free, they need to ask for it for free first.
No respect there,
yeah,
though.
there's no respect. Yeah, that's so bad. If your cousin cannot pay $135 for your work, he cannot pay his manager either. And if he cannot pay a manager, said manager isn't doing a good job and needs to go. And yes, your cousin wants free designs. For the black version, offer him a completely black square in the sizes he requested. For the white version, offer him a completely white square. And for the transparent, give him a transparent square. That's what he can have for free.
I love that. I love the sass and the pettiness.
Oh my God. Melimpia. Yes. She's an arsehole enthusiast, apparently. Is that like an award people get for commenting a lot? I love that. Right, do you want to go into the next one?
Yes.
So this next one's design based as well. Bearing in mind... Okay. Oh, no, it's been deleted. Oh, dearie me. Right, so this is a design one as well.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Hit me.
Am I the arsehole for telling artists who copy my artwork that they're copying me? How can you be an arsehole for stating the truth? I don't know, but let's see. Could be a grey area. So far, it's been very, black and white, hasn't it? Hey all, I'm an illustrator and I feel the online art world is just impossible to control, but when it comes to local artists, it feels like a shitty feeling. Yeah. In the past year, I've had 2 incidents where the artists are 1, following me on Instagram, 2, know my work or participated in collaborations I have initiated, 3, are from the same area as me, and 4, are supposed to be my friend. So before I send messages concerning artists, I always send the comparisons to my friends who are either in the same domain as me and people who are not. I ask to see what they think and hopefully they find ways to help me to speak to the person who copied me in a very calm and non-threatening way. At some point, I feel very frustrated, wondering, am I the arsehole for asking for a conversation to clear things out? But then when they try to defend what they did, rather than just admit they were inspired by what they saw on my Instagram recently, I show proof and screenshots of the dates and the similarities to basically point out the obvious. I just feel very weird because I don't want this to be an ego trip, but I just feel like it's not okay to make work that I've been trying to explore every day and proof they just suddenly take the same composition, colour scheme, or subjects of something I've done either 2 days before or many months before their own creation. So yeah, am I the arsehole to try and defend my work? Thanks. So it's not a specific incident, it's just in general, because obviously she's experienced it quite a bit. I mean, I don't know why she's commenting in this, because yeah.
I don't think she's the arsehole for doing that.
No.
I think you just have to be, there's a way that you have to figure out whether it's worth it or not, or whether
how are you figuring out whether you're going to want to say what you want to say?
Yeah, no, I won't go into detail, but I'll say, like, I have said this to an artist before and it ended up being very detrimental to my mental health. I don't want to use repercussions because repercussions isn't the right word, but after I confronted a creative after seeing some similarities and after being constantly sent their work by many different people who were following me, I ended up just sending them a very nice message saying,
it was a very nice message.
I was like, I'm really sorry to say this, but I felt like I had to. I do see some similarities. I had some other people saying that they see some similarities. We should all raise each other up, and I love it if I inspire people. That's amazing, but I do think there's a lot of similarities there and it's hard to ignore, and it was a burden on me and I just needed to say something. I don't want you to take this as a dig. I don't know if you've done this subconsciously or if you've done it. And then I got a not very nice message back and it ended up turning into something a lot bigger, and I was portrayed to be a bitch. Essentially, I was portrayed to be a big creator shitting, well, not even big, like I think I was at like 8k at the time, a bigger creator shitting on a smaller creator, and it was made to be something. My words was twisted. What I said was twisted. I sent one message and it was implied that I've been harassing her for months. But yeah, no. So I think it's a difficult one. It is tricky. So before I had that experience, I think that I would have said, yeah, that's it. Yeah, just message them. Just let them know. But after that experience, it was so detrimental to my mental health because it was petty, and it got very personal, and it got nasty. It got quite nasty. And I was just kind of sat there thinking, I don't want to say anything because I don't want to come across to be a bitch.
Because she had everyone on the side, didn't she?
Well, yeah. I mean, there was a lot of like big creators that I followed that then I was blocked by. So I don't know. It's a difficult one.
So sad.
I don't regret bringing it up to them because it was something that was really weighing on my mind and it was stressing me out and I was struggling to sleep because of it. But yeah, no, I hope that creator is now doing well. I hope she's good.
Yeah,
but yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one. I think maybe try and weigh up your options and try and say it in the nicest way and just try and explain your views and try and come of it from a place of love and light rather than a place of like defensiveness. I think it's when we create art and when we feel like someone's stealing a piece of us, we can get very defensive. But in my situation, I try to keep as very like chill and casual. I think I even sent the message to her. I was like, I can't tell you what to do. It's your life. You can make what you want. It's like,
but I'm just letting you know how I feel. That's
just letting you know how I feel because I feel like this. But yeah, no, it was completely disregarded and my feelings were invalidated. But yeah, no. So I think maybe message.
Yeah, see, even when you do things right and you're really nice, which you didn't need to be, it still was detrimental to you. And it's not that you were the arsehole in that situation. Obviously, the other person was completely, because they didn't take accountability and then like gaslit you and made it all seem like it was your fault. But obviously, this person here, they haven't said how they've told these people they're copying them.
No.
They could have said it in an arsehole way. Do you know what I mean? They could have said, "Oi, what are you doing?"
If you message being like, "Oh, this is fucking my design," it's like, "Oh, that's not the way." Because some people don't. I know it sounds weird, but some people don't know what copyright is, and don't know.
And
inspiration. There's certain things and like there's certain styles where you can't necessarily copyright a style, but if it's the style plus the composition plus the color palette plus the certain text that they use, then that's when you're like, oh, it's not just like the one thing.
Especially when you've got a few people telling you.
Like influence of things, like we're all influenced by things at the world. I'm heavily influenced by certain artists. Like Keith Haring is like one of my big inspirations in design and has been for years and years and years, but I would never copy one of his designs and fob it off as my own.
But then like it doesn't feel good for you either, because it's not your design.
Not made that.
Yeah, I know. It's weird, isn't it? It's really weird.
It is weird. What's your view on that?
Well, yeah, same thing. Like, it just depends on the way that you approach it, because you could not be very nice about it. But yeah, she's not the arsehole in this situation, I don't think. But we've not got enough context to specific situation. I'm going to go on, in fact, I'm going to go on the Twitter, the Am I the Arsehole Twitter, because they share the best ones. I'm going to do like, that's where I found it, Am I the Arsehole?
What?
Are you ready for this?
Oh, God, I'm scared.
It's gone viral, right? And I've read the title, but I haven't read the content. I've not read any of it. I've just found it. And it's not design-based.
Okay.
Right, it's shocking, actually.
Oh, God.
Am I the arsehole for ruining my work colleague's wedding and getting them arrested? So it says, the title sounds a bit bad. But hear me out. I, a 38 female, had two work colleagues, Mary and Adam, both in their late 20s to early 30s. Mary started in the company first, then she got Adam to join. They worked in different departments and Mary was in mine. Later, Mary left the company to pursue another career. When they started the company, they were already married a few years. Now, Mary is the kindest and loveliest person I've ever met. She was always polite, helpful, and would cheer anyone up. We missed her so dearly. So it came as a shock when we found out she's divorcing Adam because he cheated on her. I've called her to express how sorry I am that this happened to her, and we were talking most every day since. I was impressed how well Mary holds herself in such a situation. She would never badmouth Adam, and the only thing she mentioned was how her wedding dress and a few family heirlooms went missing as she was moving her stuff from her apartment. She thought they might be misplaced in a different box and would turn up eventually. A few years passed. I now work in the same department as Adam. He's a good work colleague, but can be dismissive and ignorant at some times. Adam invited me to his wedding with the lady, Chelsea, who he cheated on Mary with. As the entire department was invited, I said yes, just making sure that Mary was okay with this. I've also told her where the wedding will be. It's not too far from where she lives, and we could go for some drinks after if she wanted to. On the day of Adam's wedding, I noticed that Chelsea was wearing a similar dress that Mary wore in photos of her and Adam's wedding years ago.
Holy fucking shit.
I know. So without thinking, I snapped a picture and sent it to Mary with the caption saying,
"As you would."
Just look similar. Yeah.
You were like, look at this.
Yeah, she got the same taste. Mary saw the message, but she didn't respond. And about an hour later, the police show up at the venue.
Wild.
I need to add, the police in our country are ruthless, and any theft is considered a criminal matter for the police to deal with. Police asked Chelsea to take the dress and all the jewellery off. She refused and started arguing with them, and Adam joined in.
On your wedding day.
I know. As they were rude to the police, they were taken to the police station. Everyone at the wedding had to leave. I tried to call Mary, but she wouldn't pick up the phone. As we found out later, Chelsea was wearing Mary's wedding dress and her heirlooms. I'm so bad with the heirlooms as well.
That's so weird. Do you not find that very weird?
Yeah, it's like
why would your new wife or new girlfriend want to wear your ex-wife's wedding dress? Because if he's inviting everybody from the office, obviously they're paying for everybody to be there, so it's not as if they're strapped for cash.
Do you know what it could be, right? You know, some women that have affairs with married men,
Yeah.
they get a bit obsessed with the wife, and they want to be the wife and replace the wife. So maybe she's wanting to, like, be the new her. Like, maybe
Chelsea wants to be the new Mary.
Yeah. So yeah, Mary spotted them in the picture I sent to her and called the police. Apparently, she's previously asked Adam if he had them, and he declined, saying he never saw them. What a lying bastard!
What a twat!
I know. So after she saw the picture, she knew he was lying and stole them. Chelsea had to leave the wedding dress and jewelry at the police station and go home wearing her underwear and Adam's jacket after they were bailed out. Yesterday, Adam returned to the office and went completely mental at me, blaming me for sending a picture to Mary and ruining his wedding. He would also call me an arsehole for what I did. Right.
No, she's not an arsehole, because that's wild. But two, I mean, I think we'd be lying if we said that we wouldn't do the same. Like,
For our friends.
For our friends,
Yeah.
for our mates. Because obviously a few years has passed, and if they're still talking... click the link.
Yeah, click the link, see what people said. So funny that, like, and it's not her fault. It's like they got arrested because of what they did, not what she did. So Adam cheated on his wife, stole her wedding dress and heirloom jewellery, and then passed them on to his new fiancée, who may or may not have known. All you did was alert the ex-wife. You didn't call the cops. She did, because she knew the background of him stealing from her and lying about it. I think it's pretty clear that Adam's the arsehole, and possibly the police for the very severe way they handled this.
It's a bit
I know.
much,
It's your wedding day. Go home in your underwear. That's
But if the police arrested them...
It says here as well, someone's wrote, new wifey knew. No way would you go through wedding planning and not go dress shopping, because he already had one. Doubt that he would have his mother act like it was her dress and wanted her to wear it. Yeah, so his, like, mum and dad know that it was
wild.
the ex-wife's dress. Yeah.
I don't get it.
What a weirdo. Info, what country is this? I've never heard of police arresting someone over a civil matter with zero proof. Police would normally say, this is a civil matter, bring them to civil court. And OP's replied, in our country, theft is a criminal matter, and Mary has her photo as proof. I'm pretty sure she had messages or other communications with Adam about the heirlooms and the dress. And someone's replied, that's like saying you and I happen to have the same shirt. You bought yours, I lost mine. I'll call the police on you for theft because I have a picture of myself with said shirt. I doubt they would arrest someone on that alone. And then she's replied again saying, Mary's dress has a very unique and almost handmade design. And from what she told me, the heirlooms are old. You wouldn't find them in a normal jewellery shop. And Spawn...
Be a pawn shop.
Spawn would either sell them for crazy amount or send them to museums or part of history. They were really pretty and looked great with the dress, making the bride look like a princess from older Disney cartoons. Wow. And then someone said here, not the arsehole, but hear me out, you stirred the pot up really good with this one. So the bride was wearing a used stolen wedding dress and jewellery. I'd start looking for another job if I were you. Adam is going to make your work life holy hell if he can. And then she's replied, I've been at this job for longer and hold more senior position compared to him.
Yeah, why are they assuming that he's got the senior position, you twat?
Yeah. Wow. Misogynistic much.
No. Oh my
Yeah.
god. Right, do another one. I think we're going to finish off with another one now, aren't we? What time is it? Yeah.
So, are we going to go for another arty one? We are, aren't we? Arty one to leave it. We had a
finish on an arty one.
Yeah. So this one's got quite a lot of upvotes, so it looks like it could be a funny one. Right. Am I the arsehole for asking my artist to remove his signature on the art I commissioned for my book because it looks distracting after putting it on the text? Okay. After years of working on it, I finally had the courage to release my first book independently. Since this is a YA novel, what does that mean?
A young adult novel.
Young adult novel. I decided to hire this cool artist I found on, I reckon so. I found on Instagram. His rate is kind of high, but I feel like it's worth it anyway because he's insanely talented.
Love that.
Yeah. Anyway, I was satisfied with the result. The only problem is, after I put the text through Photoshop, I realised that his signature looks out of place. Because of this, I asked him if he can remove it, and instead I'll credit him as the illustrator. He got furious and even accused me of trying to steal his art, but he's paid for it. how am I stealing his art when I paid for it, including the copyright fee or something, which will legally allow me to sell the book with his art on it? Okay, well, you've just got to look at the contract, haven't you?
I mean, you don't have to sell someone the copyright for them to be able to sell the book with it. That's just number one in the UK anyway. Like if I was to illustrate a book, I'd have to sell them the copyright. I just license the design. But technically, if they have bought the copyright, and if that's what they've done, because you have to have a contract that says the illustrator XX person is handing the copyright over to this person, technically, the person who's bought the copyright could go in and edit their
and it depends what it says on the contract, because the contract could say you don't remove my signature and he's missed it. So I don't know. I don't think.
I think if you are, I don't know about you, or I don't. Obviously, I'm not a fucking legal person. I'm not a lawyer, but I think potentially the signature would deter. But you never really see that on books. You never really see an artist's signature. No. It's always like illustrated by such and such a body.
And they said they're going to do that.
And if these rates are high and it's paying him anyway, like. I don't know. I think the artist. I don't know. Somebody listening to this might disagree, but from the knowledge I have in my brain, I think the artist is being a bit of a dick about this.
Yeah, it's like a watermark.
Yeah.
I asked my friend if I'm the arsehole for asking him to remove the signature, and even she agreed. Said that I should honestly just leave it, as it will help me promote his art as well. But it's going to promote the art anyway, because it's going to be illustrated by artists.
Yeah.
I still think I did nothing wrong. I have read many books with digital printing book cover. None of those have a signature on it. Instead, the artist was just credited. And besides, he technically doesn't own it anymore because he transferred the ownership to me.
Yeah, there you go then.
Yeah, and I even have a certificate of authenticity. Am I the arsehole? No, you're not at all.
No.
Not at all.
That illustrator doesn't know what they're talking about by the signs of it.
And the rates are high.
Yeah.
Confused.com.
See what the comments saying.
Top one. NTA, which means not the arsehole. It is a commissioned piece and a book cover art. I have never seen a signature on the art of the artist on book cover unless he or she is Banksy famous and it helps selling the book. The artist is full of himself. And do you know what as well? Surely if it is distracting, surely they're going to want what looks best anyway with their work.
Yeah.
It's weird. Someone said, exactly, this is beyond unprofessional. Not the arsehole. A commission piece belongs to you and it includes the right to make modifications as well.
Yeah, if someone buys the copyright, they do have the right to make modifications because they then own that copyright.
Yeah. I work in a bookstore and I have never seen a book cover with the artist's signature on it. That would be very distracting and very confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah, legally he needs to remove the signature. You own the copyright, the art is no longer his.
Yep.
Yeah, although someone then has said legally he needs to do nothing. OP commissioned him artwork. They got artwork. Since OP states that as part of the commission, they now own the copyright to that artwork. They are now free to edit that artwork in any way they see fit. This includes removing the signature so they desire. If OP didn't include revisions as part of the commission or already used all their revisions, then the artist has no obligation to remove the signature. Yeah, I don't know. There's quite a lot of conflicting here, because then someone else has said here, this is bad advice unless the artist sold the copyright along with the painting. The artist can sell ownership of the painting while retaining the copyright. Is that right?
Well, yeah, you own a painting, but if someone has sold the copyright and like they said they've sold the copyright, like it's like, I think people, it's the terms that we all get confused with of like what the terms actually mean, but like the owner, I think what they're implying by ownership is like when I design illustrations for companies, that is exclusive to them, so they own that exclusive design, but I retain the copyright. But because the OP has said I have bought the copyright to this, I think he needs to have a look over it.
Yeah, OP probably lives in the Philippines, so I don't know what intellectual properties are there, but in America the original painting / art can be sold without the artist losing the copyright. Why is he presuming that he lives in the Philippines?
I don't know.
Maybe he said something. I don't know. Yeah. So I'm going to say not the arsehole. This is really confusing.
People are getting confused between having the licensing and having the copyright. But from the sounds of it, so someone's quote tweeted, that's, we're not on Twitter. Someone's quoted the section where OP says, but how am I stealing his art when I pay for it, including the copyright fee or something, which legally allows me to sell the book with his art on it? And someone said, it sounds like the copyright was a part of the deal, but the use of or something kind of implies to me that OP doesn't actually fully understand what they've signed on to. As an art, and then someone's commented, said, as an artist, I interpreted the or something to mean OP has no idea what they actually signed, but that they're probably interpreting the rights to print the artwork as owning the copyright, because most people do. Relatively few people outside of the art world and publishing world actually know that there is a distinction between the two, which there is. There's a distinction between owning the bespoke image and owning the copyright. And then OP's currently saying, actually, I know what I've signed up for, not sure about the term. Basically, I own the art and can now reproduce it without him getting any money from each product that I sold.
That's still not copyright.
That's not copyright, no. So that's it. So they've sold him some people, when they design for a company, will say, right, this is my rate for this design, and then now every single one that you sell, I get 8% of that thingy. Some people do that, some people don't. I don't, on the long run of some things, because it's just an extra thing for me to think about, if I'm being honest. I think my rates cover my time and reflect my standard of work. But yeah, no, I license it out and be like, you've got this for a limited time and here's your flat fee. Whereas that's what it sounds like they've got, like they've not owned the copyright. That's so, like, come on, I'm intrigued.
That doesn't mean that they own the copyright. This is why you never go to internet strangers for legal advice. This is an arsehole enthusiast as well. Yeah, see if there's an update.
Account has been
suspended. I wonder why. So, I reckon that was the last one.
Yes.
This has been so
I enjoyed
exciting.
this. I think we should do this again. I think we should make it like a semi-regular occurrence. We should find, or if you listening know some very good Am I the Arser ones, please let us know. Send us links. Even like, don't necessarily have to be design based. Send us some like unhinged.
Because we love them. We both love them so much.
Unhinged.
We listened to this podcast. We both listened to it called Two Hot Takes.
Oh, they're amazing, and they go through like Am I the Arsehole and like No Mother-in-Laws, and every episode they have some very hot takes
on like Reddit dilemmas.
I enjoy it, and that podcast was a podcast that made me realise I wanted to start a podcast as well.
And that's why we sort of added the Am I the Arsehole at the end.
Just a little like homage to them.
Yeah, we do love it.
Yeah, no, I hope you've enjoyed it. And is there anything else we want to say? I think that's it. I think we go through this episode. This is a very, very nice, cool, breezy episode. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you next week for another episode of the Do It For Yourself podcast.
podcast.
See you next Tuesday.
Bye.